Okay. Sister. So the last time we recorded, which was an extravaganza, we did not get to talk about top culture, and we actually didn't tell them about what's coming next. So
That's right.
I wanted to gather you back from your now busy schedule of being a working girl again. She's working.
I'm a working girl.
She's working. Okay. You took it in a different, totally different decade, but that's great.
I'm a working girl like Dolly Parton.
Exactly. I was like, okay, Cowboy Brown. Let's go. Let's freaking go. I love you.
I love you too.
And I'm really glad you're back.
I'm so glad to be back with you and with all of our listeners.
Also,
Let's just stay right here.
Just me.
Right here in the present moment together.
Yeah, let's be right here. So, Sister, how's it been being back?
Well, I'm truly only a few days into it.
Yeah.
Like I'm a few days back at work, a few days back at because I mean it's interesting the realms to which I have returned are.
Yes, talk about it.
The realm of podcasting, the realm of Aorta.
Mm-hmm.
Which is my job, and then the realm of there's this other lane of work that I do where I do like keynotes and racial justice institutes and writing workshops as a separate body of work, and so I part of my preparing to go back into the world of working was getting my updating my website again to explain to people how to book me and those kinds of things. So it's Yuki, now people can book me again, which is something that was really off limits for basically.
I like that.
Yeah. Well, I haven't earned income in months. So, but yeah,
Mama's working.
I'm a working girl.
I am working girl now.
I'm taking it slow. But so it's I haven't announced anything, but I'm preparing the way for my time to now include more income generation activity.
Yeah,
and good. It's such a different energy to be in, to be I'm thinking about revenue and my business and those kinds of things after having not had to think about that for a while. So it's just a different energy. There's a way that it feels a little surreal, it's sort of I guess I'm working now. You know what I mean? There's a cartoony element to it.
Yeah, I'm seeing sort of a cartoon monster that's slowly coming into form. Wait a second, I know how to stomp the yard. Okay.
Yeah. But it's going pretty smoothly and slowly so far, which is lovely.
Beautiful. That's really good.
How are you?
I'm doing really good. Last week, I got to go and speak at Columbia's People's graduation. It was the People's graduation, but it was the alternative graduation for a lot of New York schools, and
which can I just say, you looked like an angel, and you spoke literal. You just channeled just joyful, divine wisdom.
Sister,
it was so amazing. I saw the video. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe.
Yeah.
And sorry, this is your story. Go ahead. I'm so excited for you. It was what a triumphant, beautiful experience given your history with Columbia.
Exactly.
I love that this is how you ended up as the commencement speaker. I just fucking love this whole story arc.
Me too. I really do. I mean, for our listeners who may or may not know, I went to Columbia University for undergrad, and my senior year, I was taking 7 classes and running 4 organizations and the student body vice president. And I was really I'll do the inside outside strategy. I'll do, I was really like, we're going to liberate the budget, for organizing work. I was working
serious student organizer.
I was a student organizer, and I won this award called Most Outstanding Student that was voted on by the faculty, the students, and the alumni. And but then I failed my French oral exam, and I drank so much of a whole bottle of tequila, and it was just like I was like, okay, like, I'm a failure. And there's a way. I've been really thinking about this for all these students right now. Like, if you're the kind of student who's like, I'm going to college, right? Like, you care about doing things well. You care about impressing some adult out there. Like, you were like, I care about the path that exists, and I'm going to try to get on it and be successful on the existing pathway. And so,
especially if you go to that kind of school and you're not a legacy student.
So yes. So then add on to that, going to an Ivy, add on to that, not being a legacy, add on to that, the sacrifices, your parents are making, add on to that, the insane debt that you're taking on. It's like, it's a big deal. And it was my first real taste of what I thought to be failure. And
to not graduate,
right? To not get my diploma. And then, hijinks ensued, but I never went back, and I never really looked back. My life started going, and at different times people have been like, oh, you're going to get an honorary degree. And I was like, I don't think that's the life I'm on. I really went off path. Like, I'm really out here, like, in a ATV or something. I'm just like, I'm in the jungle. Like, I'm doing a different thing. I don't even think they can see me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, that place, that institution can't see me anymore. But the students are student organizers, and I still write for the pure-hearted organizer. I still, that's who I'm still attending
that's who you're speaking to.
Right? So there was something so sweet about being invited, and then having it be a space where I keep getting very emotional when I talk about it, but like, where just to be in a room full of people who were not questioning the decision to stand against genocide, right?
Yes.
Like, there was no, it was just like, people were like, we know we are Jewish, and we are Muslim, and we are Palestinian, we are Arab, we are Black, we are brown, we are from the Sudan, we are from the Congo. Like, we are in an international body of people, multiracial, multicultural, multi-religious, and we all understand that the humane thing to do right now is this. And we all know that we're on the right side of history, and we're all trying to get history behind us as fast as possible. And we just all know that. And seeing the respect in the students' eyes for each other was just, they looked at each other like,
wow.
It was so, just like, they have done, they've broken through to that place of like, oh, so much of the stuff we've been told doesn't matter. What matters is like what you choose to do in a moment like this. And whoever chooses to be on this side with me, that's my kin. And I deeply respect. It was just beautiful to see how they looked at each other.
I have chills right now.
I want everyone to. Those chills are your dose of this medicine, because it was such a holy medicine, and I keep trying to figure out like how to give people more and more taste from it. And heroes, people that I really look up to. Noura Erakat was there. She spoke, she fired us up. Mona Chalabi was there, who I just have the deepest respect for. It was Amanda Seales was our MC. Baby been going through it, and she's like been so brave. And it's just been like, it was a really powerful space to be in. And I got to meet new beloveds, and then my bestie Danny was there, and we just got to look at each other, because Danny's one of the people who really politicized me when I was at that age, and was like, girl, come on, like, pay attention, really understand, right? Because I also have been in this place of like, we were raised in the military and family in a military environment, which is multiracial space, and often feels more utopian at the line level, at the level of community, right? That you're like, oh, I'm in this community, and we're all multiracial, and we're all doing our thing, and we are all proud of our parents who are like out here fighting the good fight. That's what you're raised to believe, and it's such a huge crash when you get politicized and you're like, wait, why is the military in Germany? You know, why did I
Why
grow
is
up in
it
Japan,
everywhere?
right? Exactly. And then you start to be like, wait a freaking minute. So, you know, there's this other belonging, right? But there's, you know, what it feels like to belong in a community where you're not judging based on how people look. You have a sense of that, that there's a taste of it. And so then it's like, where do I find that? That's also not about occupation and domination. Like, where can I find that? And I get to see these students. I was like, you found it, you tasted it,
yeah,
you know, and that'll shape their lives, right? The rest of their lives. They're like, I want to find something that feels like this again.
That's right. That's right.
So that was my, you know, that was top culture of my life. That was a really major moment. But I also, as we were getting off last week, I was like, I want to know some of your top culture from this past year besides yourself, besides your own music, because you were a top culture for me. I know you were a top culture for yourself, which, by the way, recommend 10 for 10. Like, being a top culture for yourself, making art that you actually love is really medicinal and good for you. Like, I love my music. I go and I'm like, when I need to meditate, like, I will put on my music and just be like, ancestor. I'm like, girl, bitch, you did that.
Yeah, it's
you
like,
know, like,
girl,
it's like,
come into the room with my voice.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I know how to call the ancestors. I did this before. So, you know, same with books or same with whatever. It's just like, make your own culture. I'm such a fan of this. And there's so much other culture out in the world. So I'd love to hear from you some of the things over this past year that you listened to obsessively or watched or read.
We're going to get to Autumn and Adrian's top culture in a second. But first, this is producer Zach with a quick announcement. We have a new AUA up at Patreon. An AUA? Yes, Ask Us Anything. And by us, I mean Adrian and Autumn. People that support us on Patreon can ask Adrian and Autumn questions, and then they answer them in episodes we make just for our patrons. Do you want to be our patron? If so, just go to patreon.com/endoftheworldshow, and you can get access to that new AUA where Adrian and Autumn answer questions like this.
How do you know when a tattoo is right for you?
And this.
What are your strategies for finding and friending people who align with you? And how aligned do you like to be with someone when you're in close relationship with them?
And this.
I'm curious about Adrian's tarot deck project and where that is. Yes, thank you.
And this.
I'm in my late 20s, navigating shifting needs and finding a lot of my friendships don't hold up through this transition. I'm also learning I'm much more introverted than I realized and need a lot of alone time. Preach. Trying to hold both of these things while finding support has been challenging / very scary. Would love to hear about both of your journeys with this / any advice you might have.
What a tender question.
Also, if you become a patron, you get How to Survive t-shirts and tote bags and mugs and art by Adrian. We've got great merch. I'm wearing the t-shirt right now. It's very soft and it's very cool. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your support. As you know, we do not run ads on this show. We rely entirely on you to help us make this show. Patreon.com/endoftheworldshow. That link is also in the show notes. Thank you, beloved listener. Now let's get back to top culture with Adrian and Autumn.
Girl, get ready for me to fangirl you.
Oh.
Because my top culture of the year, of the last year, was Amsterdam.
Oh, sister, it was so good.
So Adrian, I mean, our listeners may remember this, but I don't think, like, I'm like, oh, I was already on sabbatical from the show at the point that this happened, so I didn't get to talk about the experience, I don't think so. On the podcast of being in your ritual. But yeah, I would say by far the most outstanding. Well, and I'll say, this is a great bookend. There was a thing that happened at the beginning of my sabbatical and a thing that happened at the end of my sabbatical that for me feel like the sort of standout top culture experiences. Yeah. The beginning of my sabbatical top culture was being in your ritual to feel a thing in Amsterdam. Mm-hmm. I've really never been inside of a performance experience like that. I mean, it really was more, it was a beautiful blend of performance and ritual, actually, in a way that really highlights for me how much it is true that ancestrally, like, performance comes from ritual.
Yes.
Like, that's where performance originates, is like, you know, that like we have rituals where we take on particular energies or archetypes in order to communicate something.
Yeah.
So like the heart of performance is ritual. And I felt like I could really see and experience it that night. I also had, I mean, it was just an incredible experience also to be next to you as the whole ritual was unfolding, and to like be just in your energy and your aura as you were like bringing yourself into the like, I am the portal, you know, experience of guiding the ritual. And then to just be, you know, in the front row with the lead vocalist, like singing and circling the space, the prayers, the spiritual teachers circling the space, and then to just feel how, you know, as we were heading into the ritual, you know, we're in Amsterdam, and one of the things that I was aware that folks kept saying to you and the team was like, we don't know how these Dutch people are going to respond to
Dutch
this.
people don't dance.
Like, Dutch people don't dance. They're not going to get up and clap their hands. This is gospel music, but that's not, you know, just be prepared for the fact that folks will sit politely and experience it quietly. And literally as soon as the music came into the place of now would be the time to stand, people were on their feet and just like hooting and hollering and clapping and singing and dancing. And like, it was just so incredible to be like, yeah, actually the human body under the right conditions is always going to choose to unleash itself.
Oh, yes.
Like,
And
that's
knows
what,
how.
and knows how.
knows how.
Every human body knows how. And this music speaks to every human body. So I can't even, like, I still can't even adequately express. I mean, I just so appreciate you as an artist. I appreciate the risk that you took in like putting together this body of work and taking that, you know, it's like you and I have been really accompanying each other in this journey of being like, oh, music is coming through us. We have like, there's this other way that we need to express both our artistry and the freedom work that we do.
That's right.
Through music. And it was just it was just incredible to experience it with you.
And I have to shout out Mayan Tao, Troy Anthony Burton, Charlotte Brathwaite, Sundar Gangliani, Kent
Cinder.
Barrow. You know, that group of people really set the container. It was at Holland Fest, and I have to really uplift Anoni. Anoni is a singer that we both like worship, and Anoni was the one who was like, I want to invite you into this weird thing that, you know, let's see what happens. And
Anoni was like, whole cities, Adrienne.
Whole cities should be doing these rituals.
Should be doing these rituals.
Which I deeply agree with. And I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about collaboration. I learned so much about the holiness of it, right? That I'm like, oh, like I came out of that a fundamentally different person and artist, you know?
Yes.
Like I was like, oh, I'm not making alone. That's not how I make. I make with ancestors. I am a collaborator with spirit. And if I ask them to come, it can't go wrong. You know, like, I can't, I'm not going to mess up, or whatever I do won't matter. You know, it's just like when I at Columbia, I was like, I'm going to sing, and I'm going to sing in one of the largest physical spaces I've ever been in. And I'm not even going to think about it, because it's not about me. I just want to thank these students from my heart. And like, this is the way that I know how to do that, is look at them. It was so funny because I couldn't hear anything. It's just the sounds are echoing all throughout this massive church. And I'm just like, I have no idea what this sounds like, but I say thank you and I love y'all, you know? And I was like,
sounded beautiful.
But
it sounded beautiful.
I love that the ritual, having you at the ritual also made it possible. Like, it's so vulnerable. It's such a grief ritual in addition to anything else. And having you sit there and just know the grief I was walking with in that moment
Oh, yes.
was so fortifying.
Aww.
And there was another friend of mine, Stephanie Jemison, who also went to college with me and was in a shared grief for our friend Evans, and was right across the circle. Our friend Shango Dari was there. Toshi Regan and Bob Alada were there.
That's
I mean,
right.
It was
So
like
many
a magical
people.
conversion. Nolika. Yeah, there was just, anyway, it was a
wild.
real magical thing.
It was a wild night, and the night before we went to see Beyonce, so it was just like really. and then you and I went to see Beyonce again a month later in Minneapolis. So that was also a top culture moment. Was not just the show, but like seeing the show with my daughters and with you.
Yes.
That was seeing Renaissance and having that be my daughter's first stadium show experience. That was dope. and then to close the year, my other top culture. So just last week, my sweetheart and I went to the Walker Art Museum here in Minneapolis to see the Keith Haring retrospective exhibit that they're putting on here. And for people who are not familiar with this artist's work, Keith Haring was just an incredibly prolific visual artist who both was really well known as a graffiti artist in New York City in the 80s, and also had, at the same time that he was doing a lot of graffiti art in the subways in New York City, he also was like gaining notoriety as a visual artist in the sort of elite art world at the same time.
Yeah.
And he also was an openly gay artist, and he ultimately died from complications from AIDS. And very young, he was like 31 or 32 when he died. But he created, he was extremely young.
Okay.
But he created so prolifically. So the exhibit at Walker is like, it's like 3 or 4 galleries worth of work that is on display there right now.
Yeah.
And his work is so visceral, so urgent, so sexual, so comical, so ambitious in its scale. And there's a lot of footage in the exhibit of him making work, which is really interesting to watch.
That's dope.
Yeah. So I mean, he was really good at collaborating with other artists who were like all interested in kind of documenting each other.
Yeah.
So there's this whole part of the exhibit that documents like him going into the subways and being followed by a friend of his who was a photographer who was like documenting his process and documenting the work that he would leave behind. Anyway, it was just deeply inspiring. There was something particularly about the urgency with which he created that I found very inspiring. There's an interview in the exhibit where he talks about how he thinks it's more important to create a lot of work quickly than it is to create one thing extremely well.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about it is that because he like becomes very expert in creating a lot of work quickly, and so it's not like his work isn't incredibly beautiful. You know, it's very beautiful, stylistically very specific. So that was my other.
So much of it.
And there's so much of it. He was so prolific in a way that really reminds me of the way that you make, Adrienne.
Yeah, I was about to say, I like to be making stuff fast.
Exactly. And it's like to me, it's a unique gift to be able to create a lot quickly that is also high quality. So that was my top. In addition to myself,
exactly,
that was my top culture.
In addition to
it is deep because musically, like I did listen to other music this year, but mostly I have been very focused on my own music.
Yeah.
So that's been interesting. Like as I was racking my brain for like, was there any music this year that I felt like was really profoundly influential? And I was like, no. I mean, I have like a lot of reference points for my music that are the things that inspire me. Like, I was listening to a lot of like Bjork and Solange.
Yeah.
And Alanis Morissette, but like that, but more in relationship to like what I was creating.
Like, I need to create the field of my own sounds, right?
Yeah, and it's all music that I've listened to my whole life, Yeah.
Beautiful.
So that's me.
That's exciting. And did you watch anything? that was like,
Gosh, well, you know me and my TV
I
tip.
do. That's why I'm interested. I'm like, what thing from 1987 did you find?
Okay, actually. You're going to laugh at me.
I
You're
can't
already
wait.
laughing.
I'm laughing at you already.
My sweetheart just introduced me to Lovecraft Country,
Wait.
which you have been telling me for years to watch.
I know. It's so sad too. Well, it's yay. Enjoy
It's
it.
yay. I know.
I know.
It's sad because now
I know. We don't even talk about his name.
we can't even talk about his
We
name.
don't even talk about his name. But that's
now-
a character.
now-
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'm like, this is a character.
This is a
that
character.
that actually, a black woman created this whole thing, and
Right.
that
And
I'm honoring her creation.
Right. I'm really what I'm into is the pulpy, campy elements of the way the show is made, the way that it feels. Because, it's like our main character, whose actor name shall not be named, but the main character, is like obsessed with like pulp fiction of like, the 1950s. And then the way the show is made has that feel
Yes.
of like you're reading like a pulp book.
Yeah.
And so as a storyteller, I find that very compelling, and it's like zany and weird and fun.
So zany.
So that just also started last
It has
week.
one episode that is one of my favorite things that's ever happened on
TV?
in TV, film, like anything, any visual art. So I
Okay.
can't wait for you. You'll when you watch it, you'll know, and you'll be like,
I'll
okay,
know.
Cheyenne.
I'll know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to think if I watched anything else in the last year. I mean, obviously I've like watched things, but Dune 2.
Oh,
I saw Dune 2 in the theaters twice with my children because I was so into it.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my other top culture of the year.
That's a really,
that
really
film is really incredible.
It really is.
It's
It
really
really,
incredible.
really, really is. I'm like,
Timothy Chalamet, or as I call him, Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet. That's what we call him in my household. What a sweetie pie, little
Smurf.
scary dictator in the making. I just
He's on
it's
his
giving. I have to say that man really can act. He's a great actor.
He can. He cannot play Willy Wonka, but almost anything else, he's like the best.
Okay, I've been wondering about whether to watch or avoid.
I think don't. I mean, I went and saw it. Now, I was under some influences, and I am like the way that I feel about the original Gene Wilder Wonka is possibly inappropriate. Like, that's my Wonka. Like, I would move into that mansion with that Wonka. And I would be like, let's go for another swim in the chocolate, babe.
No, baby, don't brush your hair. I love the way it looks.
I like it. Roll your eyes again. Anyway, I just think that Gene Wilder is so sexy. I've always just had a very, like, me and funny people.
Look,
me
but
and
look,
I was like, if you
but
can
look,
make me
I've
laugh.
known you my whole life, and I did not know that.
Listen, recently over the holidays, when I was in a chalet in France, over the holidays, we were going back and like watching all the old ones, and I was like, I don't understand why people keep trying to make this. Like, Gene Wilder did it, and it was done correctly, and everyone else looks like the Johnny Depp one is so perverted and weird looking, and just like so scary. And then
Johnny
this
Depp can literally suck my dick.
Ew, don't let him touch it. And then
Right.
Timothy Chalamet. The thing with Timothy the feeling I had for that movie, we don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but there's a whole way that children's movies are being made now where they're just sort of like, it feels like they're just like throw all the tropes into a bag and then like just pick out 4 of them and like we'll just make a movie, and we don't have to like make good songs. We don't have to make good. It's just like there's a song, there's a thing, there's a this. So I'm like,
yeah,
this world is too magical and familiar to us to do that with. So for me, I would be curious to hear if any children even liked it. All right, so here let's talk about my top culture, the things I loved.
Let's let go of Timothy Chalamet.
Because I love Timothy Chalamet, and I love him particularly in Dune, and because I love the Zendaya topping him with her eyeballs. Like, I just love the dynamics there.
And her pout, she just pouts the whole movie. She's just like, ugh.
I just want.
But it's like a grunty pout.
No, she's like,
just
I'm pissed. I'm fucking
I love
pissed. I live on a sand world, you dumbass dum-dum. And now you're my lover and you're acting like a dumb, stupid dum-dum. Like, anyway, so.
You keep saying that you don't want to take over shit and then acting like you do.
Yeah. Do you are you like controlled by the Ben Gesserit? Like, what the fuck? I mean,
Exactly.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know. But
She
anyway.
doesn't know.
Okay.
Exactly.
So
Okay.
I love her. I love that. Anyway. Okay. Top culture pour moi. Okay.
There's that French.
Pour moi. Thank you. Thank you for. I feel so seen by that because that's the French I know. That's all of it. And also, où est les toilettes? Okay, so my favorite visual artist of the year is Vanessa German, and I highly recommend going. I think her Instagram is Vanessa L German. Let me look. She is just. She's a poet who makes sculpture, and so like what comes through her hands and what she creates looks like poetry, how you would make poetry with that material. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, she's a lover. She just moves through the world where you're just like, I love whatever happens in your brain and the synapses between what you see and how it flows out of you. It's so good. So I'm like, I just keep looking. She's doing this whole exhibition now that is, let me see if I can find the name of it. It's like rose quartz statues. I've never seen anything like it. It feels like very like over the top and like deeply black as like cosmic. Yeah, it's very beautiful. Then I don't know how to say this. Chapel or Chappelle? Chapel.
Chappelle.
Is it
Chappelle
Chappelle?
Roan?
Chappelle Roan. Like, I've never gotten mad at one of our nibblings before. Like, I haven't. But when I found out that Zia had not told me about Chappelle Roan, I was pissed. I was just like, you have one job, and it's to keep me alive to these kind of things. Like,
It was cool though. For me. It was cool to get introduced to new music by Zia.
Well, I wanted that
cool.
experience, right?
I know.
So I heard about it. My friend, Museum Mammy, my friend Kimberly Drew, posted something, and I was like, wait, what is this? What is this? And I have been in my house, HOTTOTO, you can take it hot to go. Just like walking around, just being like, I am a Midwestern casserole, and it's delicious. And I'm so happy.
Deep in the passenger seat, and you're eating me out. Is it casual now?
Yes. And then she goes, hate myself. Anyway, I just like how she does everything. She's so dramatic. She's campy. She's so over the top. She feels like she's from the era that makes sense to me. And I love how she uses her voice and the good look. She's so funny. Anyway, I love her.
And committed to the bit.
Fully committed to the bit. She's like a drag queen pop star rock girl in a leotard. And I just love it. I just
love it.
Fucking
love
yes. I really do put her on and just go to town in my house. Like, anyway. Totally different vibe. Charlotte Day Wilson just dropped a new album. And
Charlotte Day Wilson.
It's gorgeous. It's just a vibe. I put it on when I'm like, it's time to do some yoga. It's time to like wind it down in my heart. It's time to feel good. I have not listened to Billie Eilish's new album. I do know it's out. And
you will love
Zia did get it together and text me about that. And I felt very included.
Zia came home yesterday,
Yeah.
sat down in the kitchen and was like, can I play the entire album for you right now?
And
I was like, yes,
that's love.
I will sit here with you.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
I need to sit.
Incredible.
I need to do like a just nothing else is happening. Just put it on and listen.
It's beautiful.
And then I would be remiss not to mention Cowboy Carter has taken up a lot of my listening space this
hour
year.
and a half.
And it's, I made my own remix, my own list of it where I cut out the first couple times I was like, oh, this is so clever. I see what she was doing with this and that and the other thing. But fundamentally, I'm just like, here's the good songs that I want to get to. And I've been really reckoning this year, I've been really reckoning with my relationship with her, my relationship with artists who are still not speaking up about genocide and like really trying to wrestle with, right? I'm like, what do I require from my artists? What do I need? What do I need as a human being to get through? I'm doing the work that I'm doing and what is actually nourishing to me. Like, who are the artists that are nourishing to me? And Yeah, so there's just been a big reckoning. I think in a normal year, I would have been like, Autumn, we have to do a whole episode about this album and really get into it. And
Yeah.
I feel myself just withholding from my just overt celebration of her, or overt embrace, right? And I recognize that she did the damn thing with this thing that she put together and put into the world. Like she carved out a space, which is very interesting to me. Like I'm always interested in her because I'm, as you said, I'm such a fast output artist and I'm such a quick turnaround artist. And I think of myself as kind of a zeitgeist artist. Like I'm in it with the moment. And like what I'm creating and channeling is very like in this moment or maybe the moment just before this one. But very rarely like looking back or trying to claim space in the historic. And it's always interesting to me when you have an artist who's like, I'm going to move really slowly in a way, right? Like you're not going to hear what I think day to day. You're going to hear what I think in a longer, it's just like a different scale at which I'm going to operate, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, does anybody get permission to not speak? And what do you have to be doing offline to not speak, right? And how would we ever know that? I just know so many people who are like doing so much work offline, and because Zionism is an actual suppression force, are not speaking up publicly, and it's just such a deep bind.
It's deep.
It's such a deep bind too. Because I do think I'm like when I watch people moving on the internet, I'm like, I think y'all really underestimate what Zionism looks like behind closed doors. And I think there's just this underestimation of what it actually. Like, there's a reason why a global superpower is in this bind. It's a very powerful structure that we're trying to dismantle. And that structure lives within each of us, as well as between us, as well as in our government, as well as in philanthropy, as well as all these places. So, but I'm also like, and also everyone else is being brave. Be brave,
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So,
well, and I guess the thing that I would say to that is, I think, it's like a complicated time because I think that there is a perception. I think there's a perception that if you have a significant social media platform, then that is one of the places that your activism must happen.
Yes.
And I think that it makes sense from a particular worldview for most of us on the left. Yeah. It makes sense from our worldview. And this is me trying to kind of I'm holding a lot of spaciousness. Yeah. Because I'm like, from my worldview, it makes sense that if you have a significant social media platform, you would use that platform in a particular way.
Me too.
But that's my worldview. That's my worldview.
Yeah.
And I think that like the reality is that social media is not itself activism, and using the platform for activism is one way to use it, but in and of itself it is not an activist platform. And I think that the mistake lies in people thinking that like that's always the hill to die on.
Yes.
When in reality there are a lot of ways that people are taking action.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of stuff that can't be known because it's just not knowable. And the fact that we think that it would only be knowable via this one narrow way that we interact with the world, which is like social media platforms are actually still quite narrow. It's a narrow way. It's a narrow way to know and understand the world.
Right?
Exactly.
Like I think about this often. I was talking to someone yesterday who I deeply respect. Like one of those people, just someone whose mind I'm like, whoa. Every time I get to talk to this person, I'm just like, I can't believe you're talking to me even. But they were saying like, people don't read. People aren't reading. People don't know stuff. And the implication was like they should. And I was like, I grew up in a time when there was an expectation that there's a certain amount of culture that is ubiquitous, that everyone is familiar with, and we all can reference it. And I'm like, that feels like it's gone away. It feels like there's so many pockets now. And
Yes.
when something does rise up, it's usually not for like a good reason. You know, it's just like, oh, there's some drama. Drama will rise up to the top because that's our cultural focus is like drama.
And
death,
that's what the algorithm,
right?
that's what the algorithm rewards.
Exactly.
And so like, and I think about it for myself, like I'm an artist, I'm an activist. I'm a facilitator. I don't use social media as an organizing or mobilization tool.
Yeah.
Well, and arguably, it can't be used as an organizing tool. It can be used as a mobilization tool. I do agree with that. But I don't personally use it that way. That's not how my activism lives. I don't have any judgment or disagreement with anyone else doing it. I'm very supportive of that.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's not how I interact with it.
Right.
And so I think also because I hold that lane, even as an activist, I also, that's not where my activism is.
Yeah.
That's for the place from which I can be like, I don't feel like I have to cancel someone who's not saying something on their social media platform.
No,
you know?
I mean, it's so interesting. Before this latest round of Palestinian struggle, I was really like, I'm heading in the opposite direction. Like, I want to have a work-life balance. And I was like, I place social media on the life side of it where it's like, this is a place I go, like I've done my work, and then this is a place that I come for joy, for laughter, for fun, for meme. Everyone knows. I'm like, I just really want to make meme poems every day and like make myself laugh and make others laugh, whatever. Right. And then this kind of pulled me back into like using the platform in this way. And it's been deep because now I have all these people who, a lot of them don't know me, who are like, hey, can you post this? Can you post that? And I'm like, this isn't a public page. This is like me posting what I like and what I'm moved by or whatever. And I am trying to use it to uplift things for movement space, but it's a reckoning, right? For me, it's just like this is a personal reckoning. It's a personal space.
Yes.
I've also had people coming on like, I saw that you're following so I'm like, mind your business. Like, what are you doing? You know, I was like, it's never occurred to me to go and be like, let me look at someone else
who you're following
and decide that I can police that, right? Because I think the policing of it all, to me, I'm just like, that's not. I'm an abolitionist, so I am very sensitive to anything that feels like surveillance, right? So I'm just sort of like, please, go. I was like, the same, whatever. The way I do my activism and the way I do my organizing, the way I've done everything around social change is always invitational, right? That I'm like, my way of working is to make an irresistible invitation. I don't believe in bullying people into a position unless it is systemic. Systems, I think we have to push them hard, right? Yes. And I'm like, we put collective pressure on systems, that works. But I'm like, I don't want the kind of alignment that comes from individual bullying behavior or surveillance behavior or whatever. I don't want to feel like, oh, let me make this serious political stance move because someone is making me feel like do it rather than because I spent time understanding it, right? I'm like, I'd rather, for me, I'm the other way, I think. I'm like, I'd rather people be quiet if they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and then listen to those of us who are paying attention and do know what we're talking about and take action. Like, I'm like, if you never post anything, but you call Congress whenever I post to call Congress, you make the donations with several people. I'm like, when I post stuff, I move thousands and thousands of dollars. So I'm I'm like, that matters. And I know that there's the people who have some of the biggest dollars to move are the folks who are like, I'm watching and I'm taking the action. And yeah. Anyway, that was a good tangent for us to go on because
that was great.
Yeah. I didn't know we were going to go there, but I actually really appreciate that.
So my whole feeling, I'll just say to close out my piece is
nutshell it.
I'm like, if you don't like the fact that some of these huge artists are not taking a stance on Palestine, don't listen to them. You know what I mean? Like, boycott them, withdraw your artistic support, withdraw your attention.
Yes. Like,
that's the digitine that's happening right now. Like, the level of cancellation of celebrity that's happening as a political move. Yeah. It's like, do that. But, like, don't come for my enjoyment.
Yeah, well, it's like choose your strategy. My thing has always been like this. I'm like, you choose your strategy. Like, my strategy is actually, because that particular, one of the things on my list is this podcast called Vibe Check, and I've been really, really enjoying it. It feels like it touches into the place in me that also loves The Read. This is The Read podcast, but it touches into that place of just like, let's talk about the culture right now. It's these 3 Black gay men who are just brilliant and gorgeous, and it's super coherent, right? Like I really enjoyed the conversations they have, and they talked about this blocking, the digitine strategy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have been watching it unfold, for the organizing, the way I do it. I'm like, we're always trying to build. We're always trying to grow. We're always trying to make more people be down. So
exactly,
my move is never to be like, let me cut anyone out. Right. I'm like, I don't know. I'm always surprised when I find out that people are like, oh, I'm following you and I'm paying attention to you. I'm learning something from you. It's moving me. So I'm like, it wouldn't be useful for me to block anyone from that. Like even when people say horrific things to me, I restrict them. It's very, very rare that I would block someone unless I felt like they were actively trying to cause harm to me or to people that I care about. Like, that, right. But for the most part, I'm like, I want people to see what I'm posting. I don't, I'm like, I want you to understand that this is a possibility. To think this way and to move this way is a possibility. And you never know what's going to break through to people. So for me, I think of myself as like, I'm a point of information for people. So I'm not going to block that.
I'm a POI.
I'm a POI. But if you're not a POI, right? If you're like
block away.
Mostly I lurk, mostly I follow, and like the way I participate is with my attention, then I'm like, block. Do whatever feels right for you.
Do whatever feels right.
The truth is, right, that strategy is working on some people, right? Lizzo popped up real quick, like, hey guys, Sudan Congo, what is up? Right? And I'm like, great. Awesome. Good. Like that pressure worked for
That's right. That worked for her.
Bringing her into the table, and I'm sure there's other artists like that. We need it all right now, so I'm like, I'm not going to poo-poo anything, but I'm also like, we do have
we don't have to take a shit on one another is my point.
On one another's strategies. Exactly. Yeah. And we also, I'm like, I'm just like, please trust, I will never come looking and surveilling you on how you're doing what you're doing, know, Lord of mercy. Please. Okay. Good. The only other things I wanted to uplift was this season of True Detective was one that I think everyone should watch.
Oh, I did watch that.
I think everyone should watch.
So
I thought
good.
It was really one of the best television experiences of the year.
Yeah.
What I loved about it was that we're in this period. So there's like the struggles that get all of our attention. And then there's these ongoing things that almost never get everyone's attention. And one of them is the disappearance of Indigenous women. And it's just like, it's been happening like as long as I've been alive and paying attention. I've been hearing about this, learning about this. Yeah. And I know people who have actually lost family members this way. And so this season of True Detective goes there, and it goes there in a way that is so like embracing disability, embracing madness, embracing queerness, embracing women hoeing it out in the snow. It's just like so sexy and so smart but mystical and magical and still scientific. It just did it all for
me. And also embracing women's collective power.
Exactly. I was like, when I watched it, the final episode, I was literally like standing up like, I couldn't.
Cave goddess.
I was like, oh my God.
Goddess.
And I was just like, okay, well, listen, sometimes you awaken the goddess of the cave. Anyway, so it was very wonderful, and I highly recommend it. And it's like, I can't remember the lead actress's name right now with the little dimple things, but like that's my wife. Okay, so then
she's fine. I
can't really think about it right now because I need to. Like,
I'm looking it up so that we can get it right.
Hold on. Okay. I literally.
Oh God! It does a thing when you look up the cast on the internet and it shows you the entire cast of the whole Ash show.
I don't need
Callie Reese.
Callie, let's get married. Okay,
Callie Reese.
So then the only other thing I wanted to mention was for
Jesus. Your list is like 5 things long.
It was a whole year we haven't done this. Like my list I have 50 things I'm not mentioning.
Okay, you're right. All right.
The last thing I want to mention is I got to do NaPoWriMo this year, which was the month of April is National Poetry Writing Month. And Bosia put forward a set of prompts, 30 prompts on the first day of it. And I basically just did poems for Palestine all month. And
I love that.
It was really healing. It was really nourishing. For me, it was a great way to get to use my platform and to like keep my heart on standing on business, but also be pursuing my creative practice. And like, I love when I'm reminded that the way that I create is like sitting down by a river that is always flowing and just being like, let me scoop something out of this river today. Let me see. Like, I don't get writer's block. I'm like, if I'm blocked, I'm far from the river. And that I just need to actually go sit myself down by the river again, because the river is always flowing. Life is always moving, right? And so it felt like that practice where I was like, can I pull off a poem every day? And I was like, yeah, girl, like, it doesn't have to be your Pulitzer aim, it's just it's a poem, right? It's like you're feeling a feeling and you're writing a thing, and like let it flow, like just let it be. And there were some lines that I wrote that I really loved, and I could see them, working their way into
being in the Pulitzer aim.
Being in the Pulitzer. And I can't imagine writing something aiming for a Pulitzer, so that's not my goal. But you know what I mean, right? Like something that's like, I want this to be good. Yes. In some ways, to do that kind of a monthly practice, you have to let go of like it being like outstanding work and just be like, it is. This is how I feel today, right?
Yes.
So I love that. And then I want to end with next season. We are going to do a focus, okay? And what we've looked back at like what has really moved y'all, and y'all like talking about love. You like hearing us talk about love. You like to talk about love. You like to hear about love. And we've been thinking about how the level of solidarity that we're being called into right now as a species it's love. Like, we need to be able to love each other's work and each other's movement and each other's issues in practice. So we want to do an entire season on solidarity as love. And I've been thinking about it, sister, as political polyamory, like that we're teaching people, how do you love multiple issues and pour yourself into solidarity with multiple things? Like, what is the center you need to develop in order to truly be like, no, I deeply love this and that, right? And
I like agreements as points of unity.
Exactly. You see how quickly it comes together. It's just like,
I see it.
Right? Because it also helps. It helps to be like, I can't meaningfully work on every single thing that comes up, but I can deeply give myself to several things, right? And if you choose the right lens, like I look at Alexis Pauline Gumb's work, and how early in life she was like, a Black feminist lens is my lens. And so it's like, it's the lens through which she's able to work on everything she works on. And I think about that for different folks where I'm like, I look at Lumumba Bandele, and I'm like, like, you're looking through this political prisoner lens, and you bring that into everything. So in a way, it's like, if I know that I'm situated in a relationship with these two people, my solidarity will get activated in the right ways for the work that they're doing. And while I'm over here being in my radical imagination pleasure zone and talking about what we learned from nature, and being like, this is my lens through which I follow the patterns of life and move into solidarity, right? So that's what the season is going to be. Anything you want to add?
And I'll say too that, one of the things that we wanted to really bring forward in the next season is like concretizing, like, what are the practices that we can be in that both support us to be in right relationship with one another in political struggle.
Yes.
And be in right relationship with ourselves, our bodies. Like, one of the questions that I've been asking and holding a lot in my work is like, what kind of people does the planet require right now?
Yes.
And what are the practices that we need to be engaging in movement community, so that like those are the kinds of people that are being developed.
Yes.
That those are the kinds of people that are being raised up, so that we're fortifying, like, and not thinking of it as like the next generation, but fortifying all current generations towards a particular way of being with the world.
That's right.
And what would it look like if the central energy of that work was love?
Yes.
Love, which I believe is the most powerful force on earth and in the universe. And so, but I think for us, like, the unique intersection that Adrienne and I operate at is like, how do we make that practical?
Yes.
Like, we want to talk about these big ideas. We want to be in big idea imagination land. We love it there. But also, how do we make that concrete and practical? What are the practices? So that'll also be a big focus of the next season.
Yeah.
And I think probably it'd be good for us to name that we are taking the whole summer off of the show.
We need a break.
Now, that doesn't mean that nothing will be in the feed. We will still be posting a lot in the feed. We're
So
going to
much.
be
Oh my God.
cross-pollinating with like sibling shows. We're going to be bringing in some content from other places.
You'll be
that
fed.
like you will be fed, but in terms of me and Adrian being in conversation with each other, that is really going to come back online like late September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. We let them know what they needed to know.
We did it.
I feel really excited about next season. And I feel really excited about how much culture we just gave people. And
Especially how much culture you just gave people.
oh, you're also top culture, sister.
Thank you. I was like, you really didn't talk about me at all, but you kept saying that I was your top culture
Well,
this year.
okay,
but
so-
no, you did. You did. We had a whole show about me.
I mean, we had a whole show about you, and I
had a
think
whole show
everyone knows. But just so the show does not end without it being said, your album was my most listened to album of the year, like officially according to Spotify. Okay, Spotify. All right, it's official.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I've been listening.
I've been listening.
I've been listening to the pool. I've been swimming to this stuff. I'm like, oh earth, oh earth, oh earth, oh earth, oh earth, oh earth.
Don't be
Like,
afraid. Oh,
it's-
earth.
I really love. I love it, and I'm also sitting in this interesting. Like I'm like, oh, this is happening again, which is knowing that there's the other EP. So I'm like, I'm listening to the first EP, like trying to prepare myself, even though you keep being like, this next one is totally different.
It is very different.
I'm like, you guys, she won't let me hear it. I have heard two songs that were
people
incredible.
are gonna hear.
you know.
People are gonna. The first single is gonna come out in June off the new EP. People are gonna hear it and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck happened to her?"
Good, great. I hope, Autumn. Honestly, I really hope you stay in touch with that part of your artist self forever, right? Like, I think this is one of the most unique to me. Being an artist means that you get to be like, each time it's going to be what is true for this moment. Like,
Right.
you're not going to box me
Right.
into something. Like, yeah,
That's
maybe
right.
if you like that last album, good, listen to it again. It exists. Now I'm just doing something different, right? Great. Like, that's why I made it. Now it's done. Seen, you know, like, and I
Yeah.
may revisit those waters, but I might not. I might go in a different direction now. And I love that about the art that's coming through you. Because the thing that I know that most people don't is I'm like, your novel is just as different.
Oh yeah.
You know? Like, I'm like, the novel
yeah.
is different from anything else I've ever read as a work of fiction. And each of your albums is going to be like that as well. And yeah. So
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, I'm consistent. Every time I listen, I hear another layer in the background vocals too, which is also my favorite thing. I like listening to it on
yeah.
different kinds of headphones to be like, oh, okay, Nehemiah. Oh, wait. You know, like,
It
yeah.
really is true that the sound systems do really reveal different things.
Yes.
And as a listener, I didn't really it's like more through the process of producing and releasing music that I've started to understand
Yeah.
the extent to which the actual sound system that you're listening on influences what you hear, how you hear, what it sounds like.
Yes.
And I mean, and there's a lot in the engineering process that really influences all of that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a big learning curve. That's been a big learning curve for me. But anyway, I thank you. That's very sweet.
Yeah, sister.
And I'm really excited. I'm really excited about the next EP that's coming. And I definitely am having the like artist self-consciousness thing of like, yeah, it is. It's like same world, but dark side of the moon is the feeling of the next piece of work.
Great. Let's go darker.
And yeah, it's shadowy. It's very shadowy, but in a way that I find like very thrilling. But yeah, as like, it's another new territory for me as an artist to be like, oh yeah, so now people think of my sound in this way because this is the music that's out.
Yeah.
And then here are some new sounds.
You're like,
And-
major key, minor key, babes.
Hey!
I also think it is a shadowy time too, right? So
It is
like,
a shadowy time.
making
Yeah.
music, you know, I feel like you have to kind of go in the direction of either like, let's make some dark music, shadowy, beautiful music, or let's make stuff that is very like sunbeams that get us through, right?
Right, exactly.
So like Chappelle Roan for me is like that, where I'm just sort of like, good luck, babe, good luck, babe. And I'm just like, I'm driving around feeling okay, and she's gonna get me home, you know?
Exactly.
And then when I get home, I'm gonna be like,
Then I'll clean the eggs off my car.
oh honey,
I love you.
I love you
so
so
much.
to infinity and beyond, no takebacks.
Everything good that you gave to me.
You've been listening to How to Survive the End of the World, and thank you for that. You can make a sustaining donation to our show by visiting our page at patreon.com/endoftheworldshow.
This show is produced and edited by the incredible and incomparable Zach Rosen. Music for today's show comes from Tunde Alanaran, Mother Cyborg, The Bingsons, and probably Autumn. Write us a review. Follow us on social media. Tell a friend. All right, I love you. That was like, no one ever taught you how to high five. Huh?
All right, I'm gonna stop recording.
Bye.
I remember you reached for my